Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. I'm sitting in the grill room at Philadelphia Country Club, a golf course that was designed by William Flynn. And today's show is going to deal with architecture in golf. We're going to be looking at all the changes underway at the renovations being done at Union League National down at the Jersey Shore. But today we're here at Philadelphia Country Club along with John Manos from the Golf Association of Philadelphia to talk about the Architect Series. It's a brand new adventure for the Golf Association of Philadelphia, and it will give their members a chance to play 5 different William Flynn design courses, including the leadoff course, Philly Country Club. We're back with John Manos to talk about the Architect Series on this edition of Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company, quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
Welcome back to Inside Golf as we continue from Philadelphia Country Club talking about a new event for the Golf Association of Philadelphia in 2020. It's the Architect Series, and joining me from GAP, John Manos. John, it's sort of like your little baby, right? This new Architect Series. Tell us what it's all about.
So we've been doing member play days at GAP as a member benefit for our members for the last 10 or so years. And this is kind of a spin-off of that, where we're going to focus on one particular architect who's had a big hand in Philadelphia golf course architecture.
And that gentleman is William Flynn. He's probably, among all the courses in Philadelphia, the guy that designed the most of any one architect. And Philadelphia has that grand history of local architects. I mean, you talk about Tillinghast and Thomas, but when you talk about William Flynn, he was pretty prolific.
Yeah, he was a key member of the Philadelphia School of Architecture.
Sure.
Probably the biggest group of architects, or the most famous group of architects in golf course architecture. Flynn's definitely credited with the most courses, but he's also touched dozens of others that he doesn't get the full credit for.
Yeah, you know, the recent edition of GAP magazine, of course the cover story is the Ultimate 18. It talks about the ultimate 18 holes of golf in the Golf Association of Philadelphia. It's creating a lot of buzz. That's probably good fodder for another show, but also in that edition is GAP's announcement of the Architect Series and the chance that members of the Golf Association of Philadelphia have to play 5 separate William Flynn designs. Philadelphia Country Club is one of them, and I think it's going to be the leadoff course in the series that starts in May of 2020, and then it lasts one a month up until September, correct? And it's open to all GAP members.
All GAP members.
And what do they get for signing up and a chance to play at all 5 courses,
Yeah,
correct?
when you register for the series, you're going to get 5 rounds of golf at the 5 courses. So that's Philadelphia Country Club, Eaglesmere Country Club, Lancaster Country Club, Huntington Valley Country Club, and Rolling Green Golf Club. There's lunches before each of those rounds. You're also going to get some tee gifts before the first event from some great partners. And then after the last event, there's a dinner where we're going to have a speaker come and kind of educate everybody on William Flynn's work and what we just saw for the last 5 months.
And that speaker is Wayne Morrison, who's pretty much recognized as the historian when it comes to William Flynn designs?
Yeah, Wayne is probably the world's expert on William Flynn and his golf course architecture. He's got an archive that's really extensive that has everything you can think of, and he co-wrote a book, The Nature Faker, all on William Flynn and all the work he did, and Wayne definitely knows his stuff.
The Nature Faker. I'd like to talk to Wayne just about how he came up with that title. All right, how did you guys come up with the 5 courses? Philadelphia Country Club, Eaglesmere, Lancaster, Huntington Valley, and Rolling Green. Like we said, there's a lot more courses that weren't included in this, so what did you do to get it down to those 5?
So there's dozens of Flynn courses we could have used for this. We wanted to be kind of wide-ranging geographically, so we kind of went out to our boundaries and figured out which courses are most representative of Flynn and his work and would be great shows for everybody to come see and get to experience, and these ones just kind of worked out well.
You know, William Flynn, if you kind of scratch the surface of his career, he was born in Massachusetts, I believe. And at a young age, he got involved at Merion, which was under design by Hugh Wilson, who was credited with being the architect of Merion. But if you talk to some people, William Flynn had a lot to do with the 18 at Merion as well.
He definitely did some work there. Wayne's probably the guy to talk to tell you exactly what he did.
What he did. I think he's known at Merion pretty much for being in the construction end of it, with Wilson being the main architect of that. But later on, he also took on a partner. His name was Toomey?
Yes.
And Toomey and Flynn got into the business of design. I know when you go to, for instance, Huntington Valley, one of the 9s is the Flynn 9. Another one of the 9s is the Toomey 9. Then they have the Centennial 9, which they opened maybe 20 years ago or so. But and then in that relationship, Toomey was pretty much the hands-on construction guy, and the design work fell into the hands of William Flynn. Do I got that right?
Yeah, so Flynn had his own design architecture company, and then Flynn and Toomey had a construction company together and did a lot of the work on the golf course.
You know, like so many of the other Philadelphia architects, he didn't have a long life. He died in his early mid-50s, and yet he designed so many golf courses. And the one beyond Philadelphia that gets most of the recognition, and certainly it did in last year's U.S. Open, is Shinnecock. A lot of people, you know, when you think of great architects, you know, Donald Ross, A.W. Tillinghast from the Philadelphia area, William Flynn never got, I don't think, the recognition that he deserved. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, he's probably the most underappreciated architect in the world of golf course architecture.
And beyond Shinnecock and beyond the Philadelphia region, he was also involved at the country club at Brookline. In fact, looking up a little Flynn knowledge, that's where Francis Ouimet won that big U.S. Open back in 1913 against Varden and Ray and everybody else. He's credited with doing work at Brookline, but he also played golf, I think, in high school against Francis Ouimet. I mean, the way the paths crossed between golfer, architect, back at the turn of the century, I find that fascinating.
Golf's a small world, and it was even smaller at that point in time, so they all definitely knew each other.
Right. Now, I don't know if you were to look up his history. He was born in 1890. I'm talking about William Flynn. That Open that Ouimet won was 1913 at Brookline. So I don't think he actually designed the golf course, but he did get into renovations and had his hand in redesigning some of the holes. So we give him credit for that. But what a prolific career he had. And now the chance for GAP members to get involved. Once again, it's the Architect Series. You hope to expand this, obviously, in future years for future architects, right?
Yeah, it's definitely our plan to continue this going forward and look at some other architects. Donald Ross, the Gordons, Tillinghast all had a big role in Philadelphia golf course architecture, and we want to take a look at them next.
Right. Amazing. Great idea. So, John, what's the best way for golfers, members of GAP, to get involved and to sign up for the series?
So people need to reach out to me. They can do so through the GAP website, gapgolf.org. From there, we're going to get them on an interest list, and when the registration link is ready, we'll send it out to them and get them ready to go.
All right, and for more information, if you have the Gap magazine at home, the article Gap announces the Architect Series. It lists the golf courses that will be involved, and this year, the inaugural year of the Architect Series, it's all dedicated to the great William Flynn. John, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. More to come on golf and architecture right here on Inside Golf.
Where the water hazard has been expanded, the green's been moved back toward the landform.
When you think about your future, you have dreams. You want to succeed. That means achieving your goals, both big and small. At Citadel, we want to help you get there. We believe that success is achieved with the right plan, the right people, and the right determination. We're committed to your success, her success, and their success. Talk to us about how we can help you reach your goals. Citadel, banking with one focus, you.
This winter, when you make your weekend in Montgomery County, you'll make history. Make believe. Make the rounds. Make a statement. Make your head spin. Make a splash. Make some noise. Make it neat or make a mess. Just be sure to make room for a little more. This winter, make your weekend with $350 in discounts and $99 hotel deals. Make it Monco.com and make your weekend.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Where do you think I am? The palm trees are a good hint. Did you just say Orlando, Florida, and the 2020 PGA Merchandise Show? You are correct, sir. And in the weeks ahead, we'll be showing you plenty of what went on here at the 2020 edition of the Merchandise Show from Orlando. Meanwhile, back in South Jersey, Union League National continues not to plant palm trees. They don't have any palm trees, but an unbelievable amount of work done on that renovation. I got a chance to take a look up close and personal as to what's being done over the winter at Union League National.
Most of the work over the past few months has been done on the Sherman 9. Here is the par 3 second, where the water hazard has been expanded, the green's been moved back toward the landform, and that putting surface certainly has a new look. It's a pretty significant back-to-front slope on this green, not an especially wide putting surface, but the depth some 75 to 80 feet. And there to the right and stretching across the front, the expanded water hazard. On to number 3 on the Sherman 9, it presents one of Dana Fry's more dramatic changes. The tee's been elevated. He's opened it up down the right side. Bunkers have been added to both sides. And there's water now. It starts midway to the hole on the left of the fairway. Another change has the green being moved slightly to the left, and the added water hazard could come into play depending on a pin placement. On the 4th hole, Fry has added waters and bunkers off the tee, and he's also kept the original 2 greens. Now, you can play it one way as a par 4 straight away. There is a water hazard up the left side that wasn't there before, plus some expanded bunkering around the green. The other green is tucked on the right. It can be played as a dogleg par 4, or on some occasions, you can play that second green as a par 3. It's a nifty little option. Dana Fry says that the par 4 5th hole may be the best inland course hole he has ever designed. Now, he's really opened up the right side. He's taken out a lot of trees. Plus, he's eliminated the cart path that used to cross the fairway about 100 yards out in front of the green. And he's also expanded the green, adding some side bunkers. And typical Dana Fry, some big-time putting surface undulation.
Another hole that will show significant change here at Sherman is number 6. It's a par 5. And there in the background is the landing area, and all the way up on the landform is the green.
Now, beneath the tarp, the newly seeded green. How about the size of that putting surface? If you happen to overshoot the green, welcome to the landform. It seems like it's everywhere, doesn't it? But what a spectacular backdrop that's going to be. Speaking of spectacles, How about this one? It's the par 3 7th at the Sherman 9. It's going to play about 240 yards from the tips. And down there on the left, well, there are the tee boxes for us mortals. To the right, you have more water, and you don't want to be long on this hole. That hazard actually winds about 3/4 of the way around the putting surface. It's a short walk from 7 green to 8 tee. The hole is still a drivable par 4 for all you long hitters. They have added plenty of water, though, to the right side, and the green has been elevated. In fact, you see where it's being built? The construction is halfway up the ever-present landform. It is a whole new landscape. Changes are aplenty on the Sherman 9 at Union Lake National. Unbelievable changes, and that Sherman 9 at Union Lake National will be open. They hope for play sometime in June. All right, stay with us. More to come on Inside Golf. Next, our teed-off panel.
But it's fun. It relaxes you, and it just makes the game a lot more fun, in my opinion.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here at the Bluebell Inn for our next segment of Teed Off. Our panel's assembled, ready to go. And before we get to our panel, let me remind you of a date coming up right here at the Bluebell Inn. That date is Friday, February 7th. They're going to have a special wine dinner. It's wines from the vineyards of Nat'l and Nat'l. And for more information, including tickets, they're available on eventbrite.com, or you can go to the Bluebell Inn's website, bluebellinn.com. Joining us today here at the Bluebell Inn, Chris Gardner, head professional at Bluestone Country Club, which is just maybe a drive and a rescue.
Small wedge, yeah, maybe a small wedge.
Whatever,
Into the
away.
wedge, yeah.
Jules Quinones, he's from the Golf Association of Philadelphia, and from myphillygolf.com. Always a pleasure to have Joe Logan join us. A few weeks ago, Joe, there was a story that went literally viral around the world. It involved Brandon Matthews, a local golfer, played at Temple University. He's out there trying to make a living, trying to get to the big tour. He was down in South America at the time in a tournament, and he was in a playoff. And he had about an 8-foot putt. If he had made it, the playoff would have continued, and the winner of that two-man playoff would have been invited to the Open Championship next year. Just as he was about to make impact, somebody in the gallery shouted out right next to the green, and you know how it is. He missed the putt, Brandon turned around, and the gentleman who did it was a Down syndrome person who was, I guess, caught up in the excitement or whatever. Brandon later went back, gave the fellow a ball or a glove, and, you know, there was all kinds of pictures of the two hugging and exchanges, pleasantries. He recovered quickly from a miss that really would have altered his career, you know. And it brings up the whole thing about not just what a good guy Brandon Matthews is, but, you know, the way golf is played today. You know, not all golfers would have handled that probably the same way as Brandon Matthews did. Aside from that, just the whole decorum aspect of golf made that possible, I guess. You know, that wouldn't have happened in a pro football game if a field goal kicker missed wide right, you know, because 50,000 people are screaming at him, right? It's an interesting game when it comes down to that.
Very interesting. I think Brandon Matthews did more for himself and his career with that moment than with anything he's done with a golf club in his hand, because it showed a sort of humanity that is sadly missing in the world, not just from golf, but in the world. And so to just come off as like, you know, this is a good guy. And the fact that he went to Temple, he's from here, all good.
All good. Yep.
As for the game, I mean, you know, it's always been this way. I mean, they used to say about Colin Montgomery, he can hear a butterfly kicking up a fuss 2 fairways over.
Well, I know a lot of golfers that way. They don't have to be professionals either, you know. And Chris, what is it about golf that people get attuned to not hear any sounds when they're not just on the putting surface, anywhere on the golf course?
It's a combination of the noise and the visualizations. I mean, there's no movement, there's no sound. It's basically a very static. When you're over top of the ball, it's your time, and everything else shuts down around you, and that's what's expected while you're hitting, and you'll do the same thing for your playing partners. And as you said, I mean, that's just what we're used to. It's what we're accustomed to. It's been that way for a long time. But from the club side, and you guys play a lot of golf as well, but there's more music being played on the golf course than ever before. You shouldn't.
Guys have the little boom boxes in the carts.
Or it's a small speaker, but they'll be playing the music that they like. It shouldn't be audible outside of their fairway, but the other carts in the group may or may not even be agreeing with it. I mean, look at the PGA Tour. There's iPhones everywhere. Everyone's got one. And now there's pictures being taken on every shot, videos being taken all the time. And that's the media presence that the tour wants, but you got to realize too that a lot of that's making noise too. People are playing the videos, taking snaps all the time, and it's changing. So no, you still can't make noise, and there are still tour players that'll try to kick you out for talking during their backswing or rooting against you, Justin Thomas, but it happens.
Jules, do you play with, I don't know how, are you sensitive to noise and distractions?
Personally, I'm not.
As much as some other people?
No,
Okay.
I'm not.
You play with people that are?
Yes,
And,
all the time.
Does it sometimes get you surprised that, like, really? You know, like.
All the time. Like I one of the guys at my club who was a pretty good golfer, but if you were just to the right of him, like he said, he had the unbelievable peripheral vision that he could see anything, and you just uttered you just moved, he would just absolutely freak out. To me, when I'm over the top of the ball, I tune everything out. I just
Black everything out.
Yeah, I black everything out. I just tune in and hit it. To Chris's point about music, I think that's great for the game.
Do you?
I really do. I think the
Why
thing
is
about golf, of course, you want to grow the game and make it more fun. Now, it's not blaring music, but hey, just to listen to some Frank Sinatra while you're playing some golf, it's okay.
But not just you have to hear it. It may be heard by, fellas not even in your foursome, where somebody pulls up around a green with a cart and they're listening to it, and then on an adjoining green or fairway, there's somebody maybe not just Frank Sinatra, but any distraction.
But I don't think it's that loud. Like, I have the speakers. We all have, like, our group, we all have the speakers, and we're not blaring it. It's just like
10 feet away from the cart.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a little bubble.
That's bad. So it's a little bubble but it's fun. It relaxes you, and it just makes the game a lot more fun, in my opinion.
Right. I can listen to Frank Sinatra. You know what really bugs me, though? And it's, I guess, acceptable because it's after the shot, the "you the man" and all that, go in the hole, hollering at a tour event on a tee or something. Like, really? Like, what's that all
Or
about?
Baba
Is that
Booey.
just
Baba Booey.
That's just to get attention. I understand. Do you see it changing, the decorum aspect of golf over the next few years? Another generation or two of golfers where hollering out or saying something as your opponent putts on the green is going to be, if not acceptable, at least maybe part of the game.
I hope not. Like, I don't want to see anything crazy, like, someone coming in with a horn.
It would detract from the game.
It would track to the game, because our game is such in a manner that's so.
I don't see it happening. I don't think anybody is we don't want it to happen. So if we don't want it to happen, it's probably not going to happen. But I think a little bit of a relaxed atmosphere would be nice.
Well, how about changing the subject a little bit? Just the way people dress. How about like shirts pulled out?
I see it the same. I was
cargo
just going to say,
shorts,
in the same breath, I think the
flip-flops
traditional
or
dress
whatever.
code is
That's going to stay?
Traditional dress code is going to stay, just like traditional being quiet and staying still during shots is going to stay. We're not going to see a huge swing in that anytime soon, but I've been wrong before.
No, not you, Chris. Come on. You want a final word on this topic?
I mean, Chris, when you said, I do have, I don't like when people are wearing their shirts tucked out. That's just me. I just,
Untuck it.
Yeah, untuck it. Yeah,
That's
I
not a
don't
plug.
like But, I just, there's a certain, let's say, decorum about golf that's really great, and how you're supposed to look and how you're supposed to act. It's just, there's a lot of character that really improves your character that when you play this great game.
All right, the panel has spoken. Quiet, please, and keep your shirt in your pants. We'll be back. More of Inside Golf in just a moment.
Located in Blue Bell, just a short drive from Plymouth Meeting, Bluestone Country Club offers a setting that's close at hand but feels like a world away. Bluestone offers a championship caliber golf course, practice facilities including a large driving range, separate chipping and putting areas, and a staff of PGA professionals. At the Country House at Bluestone, you'll find excellent food, superb service, and an outstanding setting. Their expert staff will assist in planning your next event, whether it's a wedding or simply a luncheon, dinner, or cocktail party. Check out Bluestone's variety of membership options. Much more than a golf course, Bluestone is a community.
Everyone is looking for something. Consistency. Quality. Peace of mind. Found. The Haverford Trust Company.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Our thanks to John Manos from the Golf Association of Philadelphia for bringing us up to speed on a new event, the Architect Series, a chance to play 5 William Flynn designed golf courses in the Gap area. And also our thanks to Scott Riley and his staff here at Philadelphia Country Club for allowing us to be on site. It's going to be the lead-off course in that Architect Series come May. Also, our thanks to the folks down at Union League National. How about the work they're doing down there, getting ready for golf season of 2020. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. And we will see you next time on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.